Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we're going to be continuing our series on updating the precons. It also looks like they updated the standard event queue page. It's no longer the one white mana spell from Ikoria. It's now a two white man. It's now a one and a white mana spell. Fateful Absence from Midnight Hunt. So with that, we are going to finally enter into the allied colors decks, and we're going to be starting off with green-white because I already have the dual lands for that. If I can avoid crafting, I will. First off, we're going to take a look at the original deck, see how it kind of functions more or less. I did a few playtest games with it. For the most part, the big issue here is pretty much that in terms of payoffs for life gain. You have lots of ways of gaining life, but it's not very consistent. We only have the two prosperous innkeepers that are consistent. You have the three core celebrants, so pretty much five consistent ways. You can attack with Story Seeker. That kind of works. But pretty much your payoffs are like Trelasara, Celestial Unicorn, Lurking Roper. Okay, Righteous Valkyrie, more like a bonus rather than a I guess you can count it as a payoff. And Valkyrie Harbinger, also a payoff, but it's a bit steep because you need to gain four or more life. The good news is you don't have to gain it in one shot. You can just wait at the beginning of each end step, and it does trigger itself. But for the most part, you want to function a lot earlier. Also, over time, Lurking Roper turned out to be really bad. And a lot of the other drops felt random. I think that felt really random. You meet in a tavern. You're pretty much using this for the +2/+2 effect most of the time. If you're using this one to shooter up a creature, you are in real trouble. Pillar Drop Rescuer. I do like that we have that's the final mode of Cleric class. Not exactly too much a fan of this in Pillar Drop, although you do get all the benefits this way. I found this one to be too expensive for the most part. Also, Drizzit felt really weird here. So with that in mind, we ended up not running most of those. We ended up running this. I ended up switching towards this. So first off, we have to take advantage of the consistency of life gain. As always, we buffed up the mana base, 4 pathways. This time, instead of snarls, we have the slow lands. If you have more of these, you probably should add them. It doesn't really hurt you much, although we do have turn 1 plays. We added the Lunarch Veteran to give more consistency. As much as I like Core Celebrant, especially in conjunction with Righteous Valkyrie, it just felt very weird in timing. Speaking of which, I did bump up the Righteous Valkyries to 2 because we are going a lot wider here. We added some Scoot Swarms to aid with the Prosperous Innkeepers and it either gives us inevitability or it gives us a way to keep gumming up the board. I'm okay with either of that. But we added some more we added some landfall features here because we are running about 27 lands. If you count the MDFCs, Sajiri Shelter, Tangled Floor, Hedron, Emeria's Call. So we got Felidar Retreat, we have Yasharn. I actually finally remembered that there are good cards in colorless, so Cosmos Elixir comes in here. Actually draws us a lot of cards can draw a lot of cards, or at least buy us back into the game. We did keep the number of Celestial Unicorns to 3, but we added another Trelasara. But we added another Cleric class. The hope is that if any of these hit the yard, we can kind of buy them back. We added an additional payoff in Angel of Destiny because usually the problem with life gain decks is that if you gain too much life, it doesn't necessarily mean you're winning. So we need to convert this into a way to win the game. Likewise, we added Ren and 7 as a way to give us a big beat stick at least, or if not, feed into the rest of our stuff. I guess we could add cards like Storm the Festival, but I'm running it with this setup right now. I also did not find a reason to fit in the Learn Lesson package here, but it does improve the consistency, so that is something to consider. So we're gonna give this one a try. Not too sure how many games we're gonna get out of this. I noticed that standard events are really jacked up right now. We're not gonna run into random people most of the time. In fact, we'll probably run into a lot of people playing meta decks. I guess I could play regular play queue, but same thing. So no biggies there. Also, might as well show the deck list. Hold on. Also, give me some time to decide. We definitely want to land the Lunarch Veteran on 1. Yeah, we'll keep this one, though. I do have to decide. Opponent leads on Sentinel, so we do need to get a quick start here. If it convinces our opponent to run one of their 4 Blizzard Brawls, I'm perfectly fine with that. Werewolf Pack Leader, we really need to time quickly. Opponent probably swings, which makes sense. So we will lead on Tangled Florahedron. Definitely not swinging. So the plan is pretty much just borrow time for the time being. Take out their biggest threat before we lead onto Celestial Unicorn and start growing our game back there. Celestial Unicorn feels... it's worse than the Johnny's Pride Mate, but it is what we have right now. Also note that I'm not running the... that just out of principle, I'm not running the cards that are arena only. Also of note, our opponent did not... Jasper's Sentinel. Looks like they might be stuck. Now we have an option here. I could lead into a Righteous Valkyrie, but the biggest threat right now is that if the Werewolf Pack Leader runs away with it. So we're gonna actually just borrow time right now. It also gives us an excuse to just play the Arctic Tree line as is. Basically, we're trying to take advantage of the fact that our opponent seems to be stuck on mana. Okay, no, they got their mana back. That was a very weird one. Now, the Righteous Valkyrie is pretty much there for... oh, opponent's going for 4 mana, Esca's Chariot. Okay, that makes sense. So we can drop Celestial Unicorn and a Tangled Florahedron. Okay, so that's a plan. So we need to drop the Celestial Unicorn first. Now, if our opponent does have a fight spell, it does make things worse. But we are 1 mana away from getting Emeria's Call down, so we kind of drawing a land is not too bad. So kind of pass on that. Yeah, I also considered putting Redain just to slow cards like this down. Opponent goes Ren and 7. They're going to go for the token. It is a 4/4 right now, but it gets bigger. I am liable to just trade this off right now because I don't think I can handle multiple tokens. Alternately, I can't let them draw a 3rd one. That's the problem. So we have the mana, but no... okay, we have a Scoot Swarm. That does give us an alternate plan. At least something to block with. Hold on. Let's play the Righteous Valkyrie first. Play the Scoot Swarm. Sadly give up on this one, but that... we need to find a way to start gumming up the board a bit. If we draw it... oh, we only have 1 of these. I keep mixing this up with the other deck. At least they're not going to be making more copies of this, but this feels like a lost game at this point. Though I'm glad they milled all of those cards. Esca's Chariot again. Yeah, pretty much we are in trouble if we just run into decks that are just running all their rares, but hey, that's the price of running in a budget. Opponent will definitely swing with the 2/5/5s. You'll probably just chump with the insect. Yeah, they're getting really greedy. So we'll chump with that. We will take the free block here. Yeah. We do hit our own Ren and 7, so that gives us something. But the Escus Chariot's going to be a really big problem. No, I could try to reveal for more lands. That's another way to do it, but we do need to have blockers. We'll have to do this now. I might have to give up one Florahedron this way. Yeah, this is not looking great for us. Opponent got to the Ren and 7 first. They're probably gonna... Yeah, and these are now 6/6s. And that are about to grow into 9/9s. This is technically a lost game already. And they have the... And they did have the Blizzard Brawl. Did they have the Blizzard Brawl? They had the Blizzard Brawl. Yeah, we can concede this now. That's pretty much... If anything, I can use this to highlight the biggest flaw of Lifegain decks. It's that it's an engine deck. And how often is your opponent gonna sit back and let you build your engine? You also have to draw the cards to make your engine work, so that's also another issue there. That said, could we have kept a better... We had the one payoff already, so that is the reason we kept it. We also had the one Lifegain card. So we had a small engine going. Problem is, it does not help against our opponent's more expensive cards. It does create a reason to make a control build. So, ooh, this is horrible. Cleric class, but no way to gain life. So we have to mulligan this. This is more reasonable. Turn 2 Innkeeper, turn 3 Celestial Unicorn. We'll keep this. We'll probably bin one land because we're gonna probably play the Florahedron tapped anyway. So it's a question if we can get away with running the Celestial Unicorn immediately, or if we have to borrow something first. Opponent's playing... Okay, that's clearly mono black. At least we kind of have an auto... There is a singleton Dawnbringer Cleric. I just put it there for reasons. Oh, this is probably treasures? Yeah, it's treasures. So... Okay. My best bet is to go for Kalane immediately. And if our opponent has the Immerstrom Predator, then we borrow that, or we time it out, something like that. The Scoots... I'm actually thinking the Scoot Swarm probably is a mistake here. I might have been I could probably just fill it up with another Righteous Valkyrie and another removal rare. Like, chaining Righteous Valkyries is also a good plan. See if our opponent has... Yeah, generally at this, Immerstrom Predator is usually the biggest threat here. If they're tapping 2 mana, it is not for... It's not for Frostbite. They're tapping 3 mana here. They don't want to crack the treasure quite yet. It's a Null Priest of Oblivion. Do they have the Frostbite? No, they don't. Why did they tap it then? That did not make sense at all. So since I know I'm not in a rush. At least we got now. Opponent's giving up Kalane. Okay, that's very interesting. It also makes no sense at all. Actually, the whole game plan didn't... Okay, they might have an Orcus. No, Goldspan Dragon. Okay, that... So cashing it in, they hit for 4. Opponent's looking for a way to snipe the Scoot Swarm. Well, they have a way to do it after they create the token, but at this point, my game plan is now revolving around the Celestial Unicorn. If our opponent has removal, it becomes an issue. Let's see. When it becomes the target of a spell, so Borrowed Time does nuke the Goldspan Dragon without giving a treasure token. We can. Opponent goes to PWK. Everyone's... I felt that was not correct. Well, it was correct in that case. Let's nuke the Goldspan Dragon. I don't know if our opponent has a way to get... They do have a Null Priest, so they do have ways to get stuff back, but... Let's sort these two. I might hold back the Dawnbringer Cleric for now, only because I have... Like, if our opponent has a Meathook Massacre, I don't see a real reason to go for it yet. Our opponent does have Power Word Kill, but I'm surprised they did not fire it off on the big Celestial Unicorn. They're probably afraid I would be growing tokens, I guess. Lane Reclusive Painter, second verse, same as the first. So probably should just swing with, keep swinging with Celestial Unicorn. Opponent seems to be kind of stuck though. Now if they have another Goldspan Dragon, that is a big issue for us. If they have more kill spells, that's also an issue for us. We do have a single Snakeskin Veil, but we don't have a... But that's about it. Opponent's willingly taking the damage though, so... They might have... If this is... I'm trying to remember if this is the stock black-red deck. I know they run Treasures. I'm not so sure if they run Null Priest, but I know they run Power Word Kill. Ooh. So we're gonna hit us for 7. So they're going into Chump Block mode. Kinda wish I had another Borrowed Time at this point. So I can gain some life with Dawnbringer Cleric for the most part. We have to clear this out because the fewer blockers they have, the better. Yeah, we gain less life in the process, but we'll make do. So Lunarch Veteran. Yeah, we'll run the Dawnbringer Cleric now. Probably run it on gain 2 life, although that's awfully greedy. In fact, I don't think I want to gain the 2 life at this point. Let's nuke the Null Priest. Because we already... This Celestial Unicorn's already set at 10. Opponent's already forced to Chump Block. It does look bad if I have to start racing though. So opponent can ding us for 10. They really need to ding us for 11, but they need to hit a kill spell for Unicorn, or else they're holding it back. The fact that our opponent hasn't fired off a kill spell yet probably means they don't have it. I sincerely... But they haven't fired off... Oh, they're looking in their graveyard. They can Null Priest to get Kalane back, which would be annoying. Yeah, we might end up losing if our opponent has enough blockers. That's the conceit here. Orcus, Prince of Undead, goes for the return. Okay, that... Ooh, that's a problem. We had it. And our opponent can just avoid blocking with the Lunarch Veteran, which is a thing. Yeah, that's a good game. That's annoying. We kind of had it. We just didn't have the finishers for it. Also, let's see, Orcas. We could have added the what do you call this? We could have added Skyclave apparitions to the deck, give us even more removal. Yeah, as you can see, we are awfully removal light here. That's the problem with an engine deck. You want a lot of cards to fit your engine, but you also want a lot. You're pretty much torn between your engine and your. Okay, so this one is fine. We have no life gain, but oh, now our opponent's playing the life gain deck. Go figure. Is that me being bitter? Yes, it's me being bitter. Can't complain too much. Now this could also be our opponent just playing straight mono white. No, it's white blue, Luminarch Aspirant. Yeah, this is the white blue pre. This looks like the white blue precon. No, it does. It's not because it has. This is Azorius Temple. So. Now what I could do is I could play Scoot Swarm into. I'm more likely to just nuke the Aspirant at this point because that's the one card that goes out of hand. Kind of hoping that they spread the love. They did. That's perfect. We can. So I only have to worry about the 2/2. Well, since I'm. Yeah, I'm not gonna block, so I might as well attack. We do have another borrowed time in case of emergencies. I would prefer to either Scoots, probably Felidar Retreat first. Opponent has Vega the Watcher. Yeah, this is definitely the tempo deck. I can also play Innkeeper into. Innkeeper sets us up to 3 mana. Might as well play the Celestial Unicorn now. Man. Pass the turn for now. We need to hold up that land. I know I have a lot of lands, but I have to assume that I don't always draw it. Yeah, they had the Skyclave apparition. They're gonna snipe the borrowed time. Which is kind of fine for me. Now let's see. Our opponent most likely grows the Vega. Oh, they're probably gonna grow the Vega. It does make it annoying. If they grow Veteran, that's weird. Oh. Okay. So I can play another one. It grows both. Actually. Our opponent can do a double block, which I would love. Chump block is kind of fine too. Yeah, they're gonna do the double block. Prioritize taking out the Skyclave apparition because that nets us another creature. Which nets us another life. Now we can. If we draw another land, it's ideally Celestial Unicorn. Oh, wait, no, that sequence is wrong. It's kind of fine, actually. Opponent goes Patrician Geist. It buffs the Vega. It makes the Luminous cheaper. Gonna buff Vega. We need to borrow time something. Okay, we did draw land. So yeah, probably just play Scootstorm first. Play a land. It makes a token, but we're also gonna start putting counters on everything. We have to borrow time the Vega because it's already too big for its own good. Then swing forward with these guys. We're still in trouble up in the air though. We're just hoping to have a good race, more or less. Opponent goes Clarion Spirit. They're gonna do Clarion Spirit, Fateful Mending. That really gums up the board. I really like this Spirits build. This is probably what we're gonna end up with the white-blue deck. Problem being, unless we hit a Ren and 7, we're gonna have no outs for these flyers. And yeah, our opponent running out of mana is probably the only good thing that's to happen to us. But we are taking 4, we go down to 7, then we take... Oh, opponent delays it a bit. So we kind of survive for the luck. So we do have to swing with these two. And let's see, there are a pair of trees, so we're gonna hold that back. The fact that I'm surprised our opponent didn't go for the swing. Their life total is awfully healthy, all things considered. Now the strange thing here is I want to hit lands. Luminarch Aspirant again. Our opponents, and they do have the flashback, but we're only gonna get 6 damage, get hit for 6. It's still a problem though because yeah, opponents, and that's how many Fateful Mendings. That's their 3rd cast of Fateful Mending. They flashback once. And yeah, we're probably gonna... The Patrician Geist is probably gonna get pumped. Could I have nuked the Vega? No, the Vega was already too big at that point. It's also a card draw engine, all things considered. It's also interesting to see our opponent just keep stacking it. Oh, they're gonna spread the love. Okay. I guess it kind of makes sense because these are... I'm actually curious as to why our opponent has not attacked. So best bet is to actually keep swinging. Force our opponent to break parity. Yeah, they're gonna throw away 2 creatures just to take out the Celestial. Granted, one of them is free. But the Celestial Unicorn by itself is not really doing anything on the ground, so... As long as I keep paring down the board... I'm surprised our opponent hasn't gone for our Throat yet. That said... Okay, they hit another Patrician Geist. It only benefits the Malevolent Hermit. Oh, wait. No, they... Yeah, it's supposed to only Okay, they skipped that one. Now they're gonna start swinging, actually, which now makes sense. Well, we did hit our Arctic Tree line, so... So now we can swing with this one, force multiple blocks. Unfortunately, we can't swing past... Experiment. Swing with the Lunarch Veteran. Let's see if our opponent's probably inclined to just chump block it, which is kind of good for us also. It gives us something in the air at least. No, opponent's just taking it. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we're gonna go down to 2 at this rate. Opponents finally figured out that we've run out of answers. Our best bet now is to just swing with everything after this. Yeah, that's the correct play. Our opponent can generate... Okay, Devoted Graphkeeper can't block. So it's just gonna be the Clarion Spirit blocking. Opponent goes Faithful Mending. They go down minus. Now because of that, the Malevolent Hermit is a blocker. But they need to decide between that and just gaining 2 more life. Well, the extra blocker probably helps. Yeah, they're going for the Benevolent Guys, which gives them another blocker, which gives them another life. Okay. This gets chump block. Yeah, I won't survive if I make another token anyway. So my best bet is to just give everything Vigilance. And the +1/+1. And swing with everything because we are that desperate. I think our opponent does have enough blockers so that it doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah, we kind of gassed out on this one. We're probably not gonna survive this. So let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, yep, not enough. Oh wait, they miscounted. They did not. They needed to block 1 more, but they were. Why did they hesitate? I thought they blocked enough. They needed to block 1 more. Oh wow. Something happened. But you know what? I'll take that 1 win. It's. I know this. I know the deck we're running is. We were supposed to lose that one, but you know what? Thank you very much for giving us that impromptu win. I did not really expect that. If anything, it validates the Felidar Retreat Scoot Swarm strat in terms of keeping us alive. But yeah, we really need a land a Cleric class. Haven't exactly drawn one. Okay, so we're definitely... Yeah, we definitely have to run this turn 1, turn 2 because we want to get the Prosperous Innkeeper ASAP. That also means we don't get to Lunarch Veteran. But that's fine. Also, by running Prosperous Innkeeper, we can just run Shelter Neck. Okay, there's our Cosmos Elixir. I can decide between Righteous Valkyrie. No, we're not going to cast the Lunarch Veteran this soon. I need to decide essentially between Sajiri. Okay, we probably should do this first anyway. I'm concerned our opponent might have a reject. Or at least a Jawari Disruption, so we're going to just drop Trelasara. Let's see if our opponent counters this. They had the Jawari Disruption. Instinct paid off. And yes, we are going to keep the Emeria's Call. We're probably going to ding ourselves for that, then just drop the Righteous Valkyrie. Opponent goes Expressive Iteration. Okay, maybe we don't have to ding ourselves. Yeah. Okay, opponent's gonna go into tap. So Shelter, Valkyrie. Definitely keeping the Felidar Retreat. Now our big concern is burn down the house, so we want to land the Felidar Retreat and Emeria's Call to get us the mana. Yeah, this is awkward. Opponent probably has another counter for this. I want to get that out of the way if it does. Also, burn down the house does wipe out our board, so it is equally awkward that way. I can choose to take some damage, then play a Lunarch Veteran to grow the Trelasara out of that rate. Oh no, opponent's actually going for it. So we will take the tree hit. Basically, I need to... Okay, opponent might have divide by 0, bouncing that. That's actually fine. we kind of regained the life by playing the Lunarch Veteran. Now we'll see if our opponent... We'll see what version of the deck our opponent's running. I suspect... Oh, still Expressive Iteration. So I can choose between playing Trelasara, which gains us 22, 23, 24, 25. Then I need a land to hit a creature to hit 26, 27. That should... Cosmos Elixir is there for like really long games. If our opponent snipes on the Innkeepers, then yeah, we're not gonna hit the full life. Probably don't want to play the Cosmos Elixir quite yet either. Yeah, we can ditch that one. Sajiri Shelter, but no way to draw it. Yeah. Feels kind of awkward. We probably need more gas at this point. So 3, 4. Let's put them outside burn down the house range. It's also at sniping. It's also at snipe Goldspan Dragon range as well. Our opponent could... Okay, they're just going Alred's Epiphany. So that was just a hard crack to buy time. They still need to follow up. Galvanic Iteration into Environmental Science? No, Unexpected Windfall. Oh, they're going for the big mana for the big turns. They probably are not going to crack any of these because it's 3 to replay Galvanic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could crack 1. But ideally, their double turn is already here. Oh. I think... Let's see if they actually have enough blockers. They blocked the 2 biggest. They have the Cathartic Pyre for the Veteran, which is fine. That's two tokens down. So they will need one more land to do the double. Go for the Cosmos Elixir to... It will also... Now that will really set them out of range. And yeah, we'll keep the borrowed time, although... Yeah, it takes out the bird token. I'll keep the borrowed time. And we get to draw it anyway, so there we go. We don't gain the life quite yet because our life is way too high. Yeah, it's a slight non-bow if you're not at 27 yet, but... Let's see what our opponent does. Our opponent needs to hit one more land, so they... Oh, desperation mode. Devious cover up. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can just do a flat Alrund's Epiphany. They won't be able to iterate it though. It's kind of why I personally soured on the iteration version. I ended up preferring the Dragons version. So we hit another Trelasara, which doesn't quite help us. Swing at everything. Galvanic Iteration, most likely double Fading Hope. But that eats up... Oh, divide by 0. So that's a double shooter. That does gain me the life I need. Okay, definitely keeping the land this time. We're doing the start from scratch to nuke the Cosmos Elixir. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. I can also be a jerk and just nuke the token so that they will be short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because if they yeah, we're gonna short them out because it's a bit of a risk, but the reason for shorting them out is because they're threatening double mascot exhibition. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they had it anyway. Now they could also, yeah, they had the double mascot exhibition. So we did hit our cleric class though. I'm just missing the life gain part. Hold on. Gain life scry 1. I don't think I want this up. No, I do want this up top. Oh, I should have triggered this first. That forces a double block on the top at least. So that solves that problem. It doesn't quite solve our opponent's mana problems yet. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they have one more mana, they can... Oh, no. Wrong iteration. They're not doing that iteration, so we're still kind of safe. The start from scratch was really meant for the Cosmos Elixir, but they haven't gotten around to it yet. So I probably also want to save the plus 3 level here. Not go for it quite yet. It also means I do not want to block with either of my flyers. Sure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 8. Alrund's Epiphany, you're just going for a hard one. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can do a Galvanic into an Epiphany. They've already used 2, so they're probably down to 2 more. If they do that in Epiphany play, they can... Okay, they're going for it. Third Epiphany? Or bounce. Bounces makes sense. Divide by 0. They're bouncing stuff. Okay. Into... Now, no point putting it here, but I can put it back here. Celestial Unicorn is fine. So at least we have a... Okay. So at least we have a 6/6 that can block one of their tokens. If it gets killed, it's kind of fine because we have another Trelasara anyway. Yeah, opponent's gonna go for just up in the air. into environmental sciences to stay alive, play the land. They might finally snipe the Cosmos Elixir. Yeah, they're gonna snipe it at last. It's drawn way too many cards. So let's see how do we play this. I need to do the math here. So Prosperous Innkeeper. Wait, no, Lunar Veteran's the first one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. No. Really has to be Righteous. It has to be Celestial Unicorn first, because it definitely put one on the Veteran. Scoot Swarm's good. Wait. Yeah, the 10 feels like a waste, but yeah, let's keep that up top. Oh wow, we're still gaining life. We're not drawing any more extra cards, which is the sad part. Our opponent can chump block with everything, which is enough to wipe the board. So our opponent can't just burn down, they have to do double burn down. They're just discarding cards now, so that's not a good sign. If they're probably digging for 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 11. Okay, they did not draw the extra Alrund's Epiphany. That's what they needed. I might have been a bit too harsh on the Lifegain deck. I did not expect it to survive Izzet Turns, though I'll be fair. My opinion of Izzet Turns is not so high. It felt like it'd been outclassed by the Grixis build. It felt like it'd been outclassed by Utah's Izzet Dragons build. But people are still playing it, and it does see play against people because it does have enough interaction, and the combo is powerful if you can pull it off. If anything, I'm glad to highlight how good Cosmos Elixir is. That really saved us in the long game. So this one is okay. Sajiri Shelter, right? Lunar Veteran, Righteous Falcon. This is horrible. We'll keep this because we are going first. We'll play the second Lunar Veteran only because our opponent just played white-blue. Doomscar is still on the table, and that's possibly one. So knowing that, I probably don't want to play the Celestial Unicorn right away. Actually, no. I have to play the Celestial Unicorn right away because I need to incentivize our opponent to fire off that Doomscar immediately. I am assuming it's a Doomscar. If it's a Saw It coming, I can't really do anything about it. But I have to assume it's a Doomscar, and I need to get them to fire it off immediately. Well, they're gonna probably fire it off next turn. They do have a Sunset Revelry. It buys them time. I could play this one. It gains me 2 life, but it's horrible. I'm actually gonna just play 1 Lunar Veteran because At least that way, if our opponent does have Doomscar, Celestial Unicorn gains me an extra life. It could just be a flat kill spell, though. Yeah, this is definitely controlled. That's the only reason you'd run Sunset Revelry. I have to assume this is a counter spell if our opponent hasn't fired it off yet. We'll swing first. Let's see if our opponent has anything. Nope, they're not firing off anything, so you know what? We'll hold back. That could just be a memory deluge. Ooh, nice memory deluge. So if they don't have the Doomscar yet, they're digging for one now. I could have actually gained all the way to 27 though. Yeah, if I had played this one, let them all get wiped. No, just opponent's just going into the sunset. They're really buying time for a very big spell. Could be it's not the it could be Alrund's Epiphany, but it's not the turns deck. Well, it's not the turns combo deck, unless our opponent hasn't hit red, which is weird. Yeah, if you're playing for red, you're not playing these. Opponent does foretell something. Stacking lands is not exactly a great play, though. We will finally play the other Luminous Phantom. Yeah, opponent just chump blocks with one. Basically, we're trying to get our life down enough, but it's possible our opponent has double Doom. I do find this one weird, setting up the double foretell. Like, is this to tell me that one foretell is a lot later than the other? Okay, well, at least we figured our opponent was not gonna swing. We're basically forcing our opponent to Doomscar or die. We have an out for a single kill spell. We have an out for a single kill spell. Also of note, our opponent hasn't played the Behold the Multiverse. There's the Doomscar as expected. So that gains us... That sets us up to 27. Which is perfect for Righteous Valkyrie. Opponent gives up Jwari Ruins. We'll play this one first in case they have another Jwari Disruption. Okay, they played the first one. We will pass. Fateful Mending. Okay, draw this card. Basically trying to avoid getting blown out by... Okay, opponent discards lands. We're just trying to avoid getting blown out by a big Doomscar. Opponent has no reason to play Memory Deluge until the end of our turn. We can't play a Cleric class. I probably should have swung first though. Yeah, we'll swing first after dropping the Cleric class. Assuming our opponent does it. Okay, opponent's actually taking it. Yeah, we'll fire this off. Our opponent could easily have bounced into a counter spell, but memory... Oh, they're just firing off the Deluge. Okay. Well, we can't win quite yet. I really have to assume this is a Saw It Coming. Also of note, we can buy back one card. I'm actually hoping our opponent just goes for the Doomscar so we can just spend regular mana to buy it back. Something like that. There's the Doomscar. That was their second card. Okay, that's fine. No. Pull back on the shelter. Into borrowed time. So we'll run out the I'll be surprised if our opponent has a way to bounce this. No, oh, they did. Okay, so it does negate that. Interesting. And they do get a max count exhibition on. Okay. So I was better off playing a regular spell than just spending the mana on this. Okay, that's kind of fine though. So we do hit Trelasara. Inscription's good. They did fire off another Doomscar. Okay, that's fine. It does invalidate their entire mascot exhibition, so I'm fine with that. And that's also their third Doomscar already. This does not have the Devious cover up, so something to keep in mind. We'll probably just run the Celestial Unicorn. Let's see if our opponent has a hard counter for this. They're probably not going to counter that. Yeah, as long as our opponent doesn't have a way to exile our graveyard yet, we are still kind of solid. Opponent goes Lier. They can Lier into a Divide, I guess. Also, we'll see what they do with it, but we do have the Sajiri Shelter to ruin it. Let's play the extra land. Let's do a double check. Sunset, Sunset, Doomscar, Doomscar, divide by 0. Yeah, their play's revolving around the divide. Oh yeah, and they can't counter it either. Well, they can't counter it by this means. They can still try to divide by 0 because that's not a counter spell. There we go. And thankfully, divide by 0 is not green. Otherwise, I'd be really kicking myself. Our opponent could have a Fading Hope, though, which would kind of wreck it. Now, can't be countered does not bypass illegal targeting. Let's see. Did they have the Fading? They had the Fading Hope. Okay. But it wipes out their divide by 0 as well. So I'm probably just going to borrow time. I'm just probably going to cast borrowed time at this point. At least I don't have to be afraid of actual counter spells. Well, there's still divide by 0. Now, our opponent could actually counter this one if they want to. Yeah, they did have it. Oh, wow, that's a weird one. That was a weird setup. And they do have a divide by 0 to get Lier back. So, I should have cast that one first. Okay. So, now we know they run actual counters. which does make it weird. They're buying a lot of spells back. They might start buying Sunset Revelries. Oh, they're just holding back. I also need to force them to use up as many divide by zeros as possible. Yeah, that's not how it works. It messes you up too. Oh, the divide by zero bouncing your own layer, that's a good tech. It then counters that, but that's kind of fine. Kind of weird. I would have just divided by zero immediately, and leave it hanging. So our opponent's shtick is just to keep Lier on the battlefield. They are going for a memory deluge first before the Lier, so that said, they do have a fading hope if ever it gets to that. Also, these are, well, we have a level 2 now, so we can buy back a creature. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I do gain life off this one. Okay. So probably should just fire. I should have done this first, but like our opponent plays Lier, they probably do not Doomscar. Oh, they actually have the return to memory. Oh, they're just gonna Doomscar it right away. They're just gonna wait for me to fire these off. And that is their 4th Doomscar already, so... This is going to be a very long game. We already actually hit past the 1 hour mark. I did not expect that. Okay, opponent does go for the memory deluge, so... They're also... They do have a 12 card lead on me. Fateful Absence. Well, gives us a 2. Foretells another card. I think they're So I'm probably not inclined to play anything until they play something. Well, I could only play that, I suppose. Cover up. Oh, it's just to buy back the Doomscars and the... Okay, so it's that kind of deck. And the Devious Cover-Up exiles the card, which makes it even more annoying. Okay, we're gonna pass, but yeah, I think our opponent already maintained control on us. Once the Devious Cover-Up came into play, that's kind of it. They can just keep shuffling their good stuff back. We definitely want to have a way to... Well... We definitely want to have a way to... How do you say this? Yeah, we're gonna keep denying the Lier for the time being. They probably have a second one in hand at this point. Or they can reduce to memory to... But yeah, this is already an end of the game. That said, our opponent was never really in trouble, all things considered. We'll take. Our life total may be high, but this is what I'm talking about. Unless you have a way to leverage that high life total, you're not doing anything. So like I'm playing this one, I know our opponent's gonna eventually draw a Doomscar, which is actually kind of fine by me because it buys us. It buys us time against the, and they don't have a creature land. Memory deluge. They're gonna keep churning the memory deluges. I'm surprised they bought back a Sunset Revelry instead of another memory deluge. That's a finite resource right there. I do also need. There's the Doomstar. Yeah, with the deck this tin, they're bound to draw the other ones. I could also run my own creature lands. I did not because of budget, but that's probably the next upgrade you can do. If you have at least a few extra rare wild cards, like if you have like 2 or 3 extra rare wild cards, I'd go for that. In fact, I would at the very least recommend get at least one of each of the creature lands. Because they do wonders. Our opponent here did have Field of Ruin. That's how important that having those creature lands are. Even if you're not running the Book of Exalted Beast combo. Our opponent just fired off 1, 2, 3. They have one more potential. But I don't know how many devious cover-ups they have. That's the thing. Also, since our opponent's not exactly killing us, I am not inclined to cast anything. Okay, I'll cast this one. It's the last cleric class. I kind of want to have something before I fire it off, so... Yeah, because our opponent's just going to reduce it to memory, but that might be fine. Like, what do I do? Fire... Well, it gets our life total up again, I guess. Yeah, it's big, but it's meaningless. Our opponent definitely has an answer to it. Kind of wish I had the other Sajiri Shelter in hand. I only set up 2 of those. Yeah, opponent's just gonna deluge themselves. They definitely have another. I'm curious if they do have another Devious cover-up or not. That's probably a Doomscar or a Counterspell. That's fine. So that's their 4th Doomscar. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're probably running a Counterspell. You know what? I'm gonna wait for them to have the win con. Because my life is Fateful Mending. Yeah, draw cards, sure. They're down to 13 cards. I would not be surprised. Oh, they even discarded the Reduce to Memory, so they're not going for that. They haven't hit them. Did they not hit a creature land yet? Usually that's the next thing you have also. Creature lands. Well, no need to sandbag this one at least. Opponent's down to 11 cards. They really need to have a way to win. I'm assuming their play is to go for Devious cover-up, so I'm gonna force them to... Because I highly doubt they only have... They're going for another Memory Deluge. That brings them up to 8 cards. I'm pretty sure their next play... If it's to get rid of Lear, oh, there's the Hall of Storm Giants. So, and they discarded the Test of Talents as well. So we'll play the Prosperous Innkeeper first. I'm pretty sure that eats a Devious Cover-Up. No, it does not. So we'll do the next thing. Spoot Swarm. It lands. I suspect they might have another Test of Talents, which is probably... which makes Cosmos Elixir a safe card. It makes... yeah, we'll go Cosmos Elixir. This definitely... oh, it did not even eat the counterspell. Okay, we'll pass. See what our opponent's response is. I'm pretty sure our opponent's play is to just keep hitting with Hall of Storm Giants. Oh, I would really love a Felidar Retreat right about now. There's another one. There's the Devastating Mastery. Oh, okay. So it destroys all non-land permanents. I kind of wish I played the Mariel's Call now. It buys back their Lier too. Yep, I forgot that that's pretty much the hallmark of this deck. It just runs into Devastating Mastery. Opponent can't counter this. One, two, three, four. Fading Hope, bouncing the Lier. Okay, so they do have a way to counter it. Probably, yeah, they got the Devious Cover-Up. You can kind of call this right about now. It's a very effective control, if not very... yeah, and they're just gonna keep looping this over and over again. This is pretty much a good game. In fact, if I cast this, I'm pretty certain our opponent still has a Test of Talents. Yeah, they did. Yep, that's a good game. We can pretty much concede this one. Okay, so that's pretty... okay, so that's pretty much it. Just leave it later. So we didn't go very far though. There were a few surprises there. We did go toe to toe with an Izzet Turns deck. I don't feel like that last one was a good one because we were really just playing into our opponent at that point. But considering that it's a deck that I've never been a fan of, I'm pleasantly surprised a bit. Now I've been slacking off on making sideboards for this one, pretty much because this one again is also innately flawed. You really want to load up the deck with a lot more rares. You definitely want cards to control that is able to control in the mid game. I would suppose that if I build a sideboard for this, you definitely want a Redain. You definitely want that's actually hard because it's a go wide deck, so it's super vulnerable to control. And most of the cards that you want for that matchup are pretty much rare or mythic. Like you want Eska's Chariots, you want Storm the Festivals. There's no real cheap answer for this one, unfortunately. There is a possibility of adding a Learn Lesson package, like if we can make this this faster in the early game. It means yeah, we never got to see the Angel of Destiny. It would have been interesting, but I highly doubt it would have mattered in that last matchup. There's a reason why we don't exactly see this one, but I still would prefer to have one of these. But there are many other options here. Again, it's really the mana base. No, it's not the mana base. It's really the rare budget that makes decks hard to keep up. That said, it is a very good foundation, and quite surprising when you consider that most of the good player payoffs are actually white black. I'm actually surprised they went for this one in white green, but it's fine. It's nothing really wrong with this one. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications, and whatnot. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.